Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So if you're at all familiar with this channel, I'm sure you're aware of one of my common phrases, and that is, your likes are public. It's a reference to situations where Twitter users claim that certain fictional content is problematic, just to end up with that exact same type of content in their publicly visible Twitter likes. Now this has caught many people by surprise, including Elon Musk, who got a lot of flack about 2 years ago for having a picture of Rebecca in his likes. I mean, say what you want about the man, but he's got some good taste here. And recently, earlier this year, he was bullied for liking this tweet that said, "If you look like this, DM me ASAP." And it's, of course, pictures of Misa Amane from Death Note. Again, very good choice. But of course, he was bullied for this. And basically, this now prophetic response down here says, nah, likes are going private after this. And ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you, it's over. This channel is cooked. We're done. We're out of content because Twitter is now adding an option to hide likes for premium users. Now, of course, they hinted at this for a while, but it is now official. And it's important to note you have to be a premium user and select the option to hide them. So I feel like the majority of people are still going to have their likes public. And while there's now an asterisk next to your likes are public, a new phrase for those who are hiding them is, what are you hiding in your likes? Because if you're hiding your likes, there's probably something in there that's going to get you in trouble if you're calling other people problematic over fictional content. I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me, but nonetheless, that's the beginning of this video. That's a final note on this. It is officially here, but there's a couple other things that are going around on Twitter and on the internet in general I thought we should cover today. So right now, there's a lot of hype about the One Piece live action. It has finally arrived to Netflix. And this review in particular has generated a lot of attention. So IGN came out and made this review saying Netflix's One Piece is an entertaining adaptation that's hindered by a desire to recreate every major event found in its source material. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they are marking down One Piece's live action's score because it's sticking to the source material. That is a horrible review, and probably it's unsurprising to you that fact that they're sticking to the source material is a reason why it's being very highly praised by anime fans, including One Piece fans. And I think it's reflected. I have not personally seen the live action yet, but I watched this short trailer that was released onto Netflix. It's about 4 minutes long, and it was interviewing some of the directors, actors, and other people involved on the set, and their explanation of how they viewed One Piece and this live action was very encouraging. In fact, I'm pretty sure I heard the name Oda about 50 times in the course of 4 minutes. They are at least giving people the impression that they hold the source material in a very high regard, and they're just honored to be there playing in Oda's sandbox that is this franchise. And they want to embrace everything that comes with it. I mean, they even have people who are super fans on the set helping direct things. And really, from what I've seen, they all hold his original creation with very high regard. And they want to make the fans happy. They want to include as many Easter eggs as possible. They want to have as much of the canon events included. And basically, they're just trying to jam-pack it into this dense mix of everything they can possibly fit in this live action to make the fans happy while respecting the source material. It's a very exciting thing to hear. It's the first time I've ever actually been encouraged to watch a live action of an anime. And from the initial responses to the episodes, people are really hyped up about this. And there's a lot of people saying, this is it. The first actually solid live action of an anime. So if you have seen it or are about to see it, please share your thoughts about that in the comment section down below. I'm really curious to see what you guys think about the live action so far. But moving on, there's another set of news that people are talking about. The developer of Saints Row, Volition, is shutting down. Now, this is not very surprising to a lot of people. This has been really celebrated by a lot as a moment of a company making a lot of bad decisions in a reboot of a classic game and ignoring the wishes of their customers and then actually paying for it by being shut down because their sales were that bad. But if you guys weren't aware of the whole Saints Row reboot back in 2022 and also the hype leading up to its release in 2021, a lot of people were very, very concerned, especially fans of this franchise, of their reboot because of many different changes they were making. In fact, the entire attitude is something that we've seen in other spaces. This reboot was made with a desire to appeal to the modern audience, and that there was bad things in the original game, and they wanted to, snuff those out and make it for a modern audience. Well, here's the modern audience, and things were made a lot worse when feedback was coming through, and the team behind Saints Row's reboot either completely ignored it or basically responded with things like haters gonna hate, which they tweeted multiple times and really just pissed people off. And it's reflected in all of the videos on YouTube promoting this game, whether it's the previews or the actual gameplay. You can see the like-dislike ratios. They're absolutely brutal. And they're to the point where it's not even like it's brutal enough to, get hate watched or hate played. They're just disliked. And a lot of people didn't even give it a chance because it was so negatively reviewed. And despite all of that, people still held out hope and were coping and saying that this game was a big success when it clearly was not a financial success for them. And you have this tweet, and many like it, getting dunked on with the news of Volition setting down. So this user said, fake Saint Row fans when the woke reboot is a financial success and Volition doesn't go out of business. This was tweeted in August of 2022, and now people are dunking on it, including a painful community note on here saying Volition Games has announced that its parent company, Embracer Group, is shutting the studio down. The studio was the developer behind the latest Saints Row reboot. Yes, I hate phrases like go woke, go broke. I think it's very corny most of the time, but that's exactly what happened here. They made many changes to the reboot that people considered woke, and guess what? It didn't pay off. They didn't get the numbers, and now they're paying for it because they're being shut down. Open and shut case, and while Saints Row was an example of a company not being aware of what their fan base was doing, I have an update on this that shows a company being aware of their fan base. So about a week ago, I made a video talking about this leaked screenshot of a new champion called Briar coming to League of Legends. I covered it because a lot of people were debating on this character because many consider her a lolly vampire trope. And also a lot of people were very down bad for, well, lack of any other term, her feet, because they were what many claimed were featured in this artwork, even though I think there's a lot more going on there, but this lighting, I guess, made people focus on it, and yeah, a lot of down bad comments. So eventually it would come out. League of Legends would announce on the 30th that this character, this champion Briar, was coming, and with the caption "New Best Friend," and it turns out that artwork was the official artwork. Now, curiously, their next tweet after that was from the official League of Legends account showing their muted words. Feet, foot, toes, feet. Yeah, as I said in this tweet, they are fully aware of how people are responding to this new champion, and they are very, very aware. And now League of Legends is being raided by feet enthusiasts, and whether that interests you or not, I'm not going to judge you, but that's the reality of the situation. I guess you can't release a barefoot character in the year 2023 without causing some sort of a wave of reaction, but that is where we're at with that story. It's a company being very aware of what their new champion is doing to their fan base. But moving on to another update here. So we all know Vice News and some of their hit pieces on the anime and manga industry, like this video right here we've talked about a lot on this channel, where Vice likened the manga industry to pedophilia and that they were promoting that stuff with their content. And curiously, there is another individual that they have featured on their many different videos. It is a comedian from Nigeria who has found success in Japan. His name is Ike Nwala. Now, I find it curious that Vice has once again featured someone who is going to be outed as a potential predator, because in the previous manga industry documentary they made, they interviewed a convicted pedophile and used him as their main source. Now they have a long record of featuring Nwala on many different videos on their platform on YouTube and promoting him as some sort of a champion of comedy. Well, as it turns out, he has been outed for having inappropriate conduct with a minor. Now, he has his own show in Japan and is one that's been featured on Vice many times. And apparently, at the age of 37, Nwala invited one of the unsupervised minors on the show back to his home. And of course, probably unsurprisingly, shortly after he retired in disgrace. And as pointed out by this individual here, we have seen people canceled for some of the craziest stuff this week. We've seen people canceled and attacked and labeled a pedo over things like liking a anime figure, things like that. And yet here's a man, a publicly known figure, getting outed for having inappropriate conduct with a minor, and all of the antis just don't care. It just goes to show you how hypocritical they are. But maybe we shouldn't be surprised when these are the kind of articles that Vice is spewing out, supporting cuties and trying to empathize with child predators and things like that. We shouldn't be surprised that people within their network and the types of people they promote would fall under these dangerous, predatory categories of behavior. But nonetheless, while we're watering down the term pedophilia, this tweet has been making the rounds. It is a tweet caption, degrading and pedophilic. It is a bathroom with a sink. This is in what many have concluded is an 18-plus club in Japan. And of course, you can see how this sink is, this little jet out. Basically, in order to use the sink normally, you have to grind up against this behind here, this golden statue, and it's like you're getting behind someone to reach for the sink. And when you do that, it makes a little sound, and a adult voice actress provides a line basically embarrassed that it's happening, yada, yada, yada. And people are going onto Twitter and calling this degrading and pedophilic. And I will tell you this, the amount of people watering down that term is quite unsurprising, but it's basically like a team meetup between feminists and racists who are using this as a chance to label Japan as a harbinger of pedophilia once again. And it's really crazy to see. We're literally canceling people over a sink. And here's the thing, I don't really understand. Do adults not have behinds? Do they just not have them or something? Like, how is this pedophilic in any sort of a way? How is this not watering down the term and causing damage by doing so? Like, I really don't understand, but, again, like I just said, popular comedian who works with Vice gets outed for inappropriate conduct with a minor, no one cares. But a sink in Japan? Now people care. That's how crazy things are. But yeah, I just wanted to go through some things on the internet. There's a lot of different stories, and I wanted to catch up and not let anything slip through the cracks. So lots of different topics, so please share all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would like to see what you guys have to think about some of these. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.